Mikey Williams and Lake Norman Christian were back at it again this weekend, playing up against some questionable competition in Myrtle Beach. Lake Norman had a game Saturday night, and they also just played a day against Jazeer Jackson and Img's Academy. We're going to talk about both games and how they went, so if you're new to this channel, what are you doing? Join the family, hit that subscribe button, and leave a like for more. And without further ado, let's dive straight into it. We're going to talk about the first game first, which was up against a team called First Baptist, which is from South Carolina, and they weren't that good. This was basically a warm-up game for Lake Norman, and they was the all-around favorites to win, and they did just that. This was one of those games where it's nice to have because you're supposed to win, it's a bounce-back game, and everybody can get in the flow of the offense. And that's exactly what happened. Not only did Mikey get in rhythm himself, but so did Trey Green, which had the best performance out of everyone and all of the other teammates too. Trey Green put on a show and finished with 23 points. Mikey had 19, and Riley Aspinich, I think that's how you say his last name, had 16. For the other team, the leading scorer was Colin McKenzie, and he had 18 points out of the entire team's 45. There's not too much to say about this game, and I'm not going to drag it out or sugarcoat it. It was a murder. The final score was 96-45. And of course, this game was posted all over social media, and everybody was quick to say this one same thing. Oh, well, they're not playing competition, and Mikey can only score and have good games when they're playing bums. I mean, yeah, I see where you're coming from, but hey, they played a good game, so why hate on them? When you're playing teams that you're supposed to beat, and not only supposed to beat, but beat by a very heavily margin, that's what you need to do, and they did just that. I could kind of see where people would be coming from if they only won this game by 5 or 10 points, but the fact they won by almost 50, it says a lot of things. Everyone played good and played how we expected them to, but we weren't worried about that game. What everyone was keeping their eyes open was for the game this Sunday. And that game was just played, and it was Img's Academy who has Jazeer Jackson versus Lake Norman Christian. I don't have to put too much emphasis on this, we all know how big of a game this is. Mikey Williams going up against one of the most prestigious high schools in all of the country known as Img's Academy. Not only that, but he's also going up against one of the biggest centers in the country known as Jazeer. I gotta say, going into this game, I was very excited, but what I saw on the court was kinda mind-boggling. It was not the Img team I expected to see out there. And if you don't know what I'm referring to or talking about, just go look at the highlights. They're everywhere, they're on Slam High School, Balls Life, and Overtime. Due to copyright reasons, I can't post those, but go check them out if you want to see them. I know what you're sitting there thinking. Yo, Matt, what do you mean and what are you talking about? What I'm talking about is that was not Img Academy's varsity team and the team we see every single year. That looked like their JV team. The only guy they even had on the team that looked like a varsity player was Jazeer Jackson. Now, in the comment section, Overtime, Slam High School, and all those mixtape companies were saying this is their varsity team, but here's the catch. I'm not 100% sure on this. Let me know in the comment section if I'm wrong, but I'm 90 to 95% sure that Img has a national team. Basically, their 1A team and their main team that plays on a varsity and national schedule. And that's the Img Academy team you see on all these mixtapes throughout the year. The team we saw in these videos was not that team. Yes, apparently it's their varsity team, but here's what they don't tell you. It's their other varsity team, so basically their 1B team. They have a 1A team and a 1B team, and this was not the 1A team, this was the 1B team. If you're lost and have no idea what I just said, basically I'm saying it was their JV team. It's not their JV team, but it's not their actual varsity team. It's a team in the middle. I hope that makes sense. Anyways, continuing on, you get the point. Let's move on with the game. Coming off a big win, you would think Lake Norman would carry some of that momentum over to this game, but that did not happen. They was sluggish, and I'm gonna be blunt about it. They was awful in the first half. Nobody really played that good. The only guy that really looked okay out there was number 14. It's the white guy. I can't think of his name. If you know who it is, leave it in the comment section. I just can't think of him right now. Even though Lake Norman didn't look good, Img, they looked pretty efficient out there. A main reason for that was they was feeding Jazeer, and he was going to work in the post and also finding some shooters. Img was playing turnover-free basketball in the first half, hitting most of their shots, and they looked okay. Lake Norman couldn't throw it in the ocean. Mikey only had 1 point in the first half, and he's the main scorer on this team. If he's not scoring, they're not going to win. The entire offense revolves around him, and in my opinion, it's not fair because he's still in 10th grade, but hey, it is what it is. At halftime, the score was Img 33 and Lake Norman 21. I don't want to speak on it too much. If you score 21 points and a half at the varsity level, that's terrible basketball. I guess Lake Norman's coach will let them know about it at halftime because they look like a complete, and I mean a complete different team in the second half. They looked so sluggish in the first half. I don't know if it was because it was a Sunday or whatever it was, but they was just slow. In the second half, they brought that energy and the intensity that we like to see. Mikey was in his groove and doing what he does best, getting the crowd involved. He caught a couple of alley-oop alley-oop dunks that get the bench and the entire team enthusiastic. Mikey was also attacking the rim and getting others involved, and he hit a couple of jump shots too. Trey Green also pitched in some points, but the guy that really stepped up, that we've expected to step up this entire year, like I said, was that white guy number 14. He was hitting some good threes. All in all, the second half was really good for Lake Norman, but IMG just threw the game away with all the turnovers. They was trying to feed the ball into Jackson too much, and it was just terrible entry passes, and it would be wide open dunks and layups for the other team. IMG really beat themselves and gave this game away, but Lake Norman, we gotta give them credit. They stepped up and came to play. The final score of the game was 67-57, with Lake Norman coming out with the dub. So yeah, they picked up 2 W's this weekend, and anytime you go 2-0, regardless of who you're playing, it's a good day. Well, not a good day, but a good 2 days. I think we can all agree that that was not IMG's 1A varsity team out there, and I don't know if it was the JV or what, but I was kind of disappointed to not see the actual team. Like I said though, it is what it is. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Was that their real team or was it not? Actually, when I think about it, you don't even have to let me know. I already know it wasn't. I just wonder why Lake Norman didn't schedule the actual team. It doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe the coach was trying to get some free wins. Who knows? For Mikey though, I gotta say he's playing pretty good and shutting the haters up somewhat. He hasn't had a 30 or 35 point game just yet to really shut up the critics, but he's doing enough to keep them quiet. He's averaging roughly 20 to 21 points per game, and anytime you're doing that in just 10th grade, people can't say that much bad things about you. Yeah, he has some turnovers here and there and some bad moments, but hey, he's a basketball player. We all have those. Let me know in the comment section what you think of Lake Norman, how they played this weekend, and how Mikey played, Trey Green, and all the other players. With all that being said, that's gonna wrap up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. If you're new to the channel, what are you doing? Join the family, hit that subscribe button, and leave a like for more. And as always, let's be great. I'm out, y'all. Peace.